Alright, so it's currently pretty rainy outside. I'm not sure if the camera's picking this up. Snowy all around the whip. I feel like I'm having a hard time communicating my thoughts and everything else just outside of a journal and a voice memo. And even just in the videos, I feel like there's a lot of stuff I can't fully describe or talk about, like personal experiences or a lot more. I feel like there's a big hole in my content. I feel like in the videos as well, I can't like fully describe myself and my personal situations and just little loose thoughts and more loose thoughts and advice that may go even further than a long form video. So I've been thinking about doing this for a really long time, but this kind of stimulated me into really doing this. And I think my main issue recently has been my dynamic nature as an individual. The main thing that has really been holding me back is the fact that I feel like every single day I'm here, and I'm here all the time. Like at the exact same time, I feel like I'm constantly switching in between up here and down here. Regardless of what it is, it could be energy, confidence, and I feel like I've just been on the entire spectrum. I've been across the entire spectrum, the full spectrum of almost every single plane I've seen. I've been through like the lowest of the lows and the highest of highs, regardless if that's confidence, articulation, being heard, being fit, being all of it. I've been on every single side of the entire spectrum. And I feel like every single day I'm switching in between being extremely like everything, literally harmonious feelings. Like harmonious feelings as in like literal, not even just feelings, bro. I'm feeling this shit down my spine. I'm feeling harmonious everywhere. Everything is perfect on all planes across everything. To straight up pain and suffering in the same day, which is normal. That's a normal person thing. But the dynamic nature across all planes and me constantly, even my mood, I feel like I'm fucking switching like a turret. I feel like when I was smoking, like I feel like it still fucking affects me as far as memory, and having that such dynamic, like so many different states in which I can be in, like not a normal amount of states, bro. Like I know a normal amount of states. I'm literally happy, sad, like it's past emotions, bro. It's past emotions. It's on an energetic level. It makes me forget parts of myself in which I know very well that I breathe through. My own wisdom I go against. I forget my own thoughts. I forget my own nature as an individual. You can tell I kind of hit the record button to get a lot off my chest, and I feel like I'm speaking a little too much. So let me take you back to the beginning. Let me take you back to the root of what I feel is my biggest issue as an individual. When I was like 11, like I feel like my whole reality in a sense was completely shifted one night, and it was related to an experience which I won't get into, but after that day I feel like everything completely shifted for me, and I started my entire perception of reality and of myself and everything around me in general completely shifted. I started becoming aware of those forces in the world. Everything was kind of like a upward spiral from there. Like when I was like 12 to like 13, 14, bro, I feel like I was having smarter thoughts than I was now. And I feel like I went backwards in evolution, but also way forwards. I couldn't communicate and like I always felt like I couldn't, like I was having such advanced thoughts in such insane ways that I have never seen before. From like it was completely original in that sense in my mind as a 13-year-old, and I feel like I wasn't able to be heard in those thoughts. I feel like those thoughts were so insanely constructive constantly. It was a perpetual, constant, harmonious flow of constructive thoughts. And I feel like I wasn't being seen in that at all. I wasn't being heard, and I had no outlet. I did have an outlet, and I'm so like, this has always been my outlet. I've been making videos since then. I made videos back then, and it's my biggest fucking regret that I haven't been where I'm supposed to be sooner, because I feel like when I was fucking like 14, 15 even, not more advanced than I am now, but like Bro, the thoughts that I was having at 14, I feel like could have shifted the entire planet. And that's just my perception. All right, that's my perception. They were such constructive, interconnected systems of thought, which I still talk about now. I've moved on from some of those thoughts in that sense. I mean, they're still very important, like gateway transitions, and a bunch more shit, bro. You could go watch my old videos. I'll have it linked up here. And I feel like I was too scared to talk about the spiritual side of things. I was too scared to open up about the things that I knew at 13, and I regret that so much, because I feel like I've never been acknowledged in that. I feel like I've never been like, all right, people tell me I'm smart every day. Okay, I don't care. Like, let me take this back. I feel like my entire life, since I was like 9, people have always been telling me I'm smart. You're extremely smart. Like, I feel like I hear that sentence so much that it doesn't mean anything to me anymore. And that sounds very fucking egotistical, but let me explain. Because I feel like I've always just wanted to be heard and seen in my thoughts, in my ideas. That's all I wanted. Like, for my entire life, all I've ever fucking wanted was to be able to help people. That's it. To be able to help people through my thoughts and ideas. That's it. And I feel like not only was I not expressing them fully because I was scared that people wouldn't understand them. Same with the spiritual side. I was scared that people would scrutinize me or fucking, I don't know. Which I still don't talk about that stuff very much. But I regret not talking about it at a young age and being able to just rely on that and not ever have to talk about it again. In a certain sense, I don't know how to elaborate that. But like, I feel like I wish I elaborated sooner at a young age, where I was not liable to be able to like talk about that shit, bruh, and be just heard in that and through everything. I feel like I wasn't acknowledged, and I was neglecting myself by not just picking up the fucking camera more, bro, because I feel like I could have blown up when I was like 14, bruh, because I feel like I could have fucking moved mountains, and I still can at this very moment, right? But I feel like being 16, I feel like people will perceive me as older than I am. I feel like people perceive me and it's clouded through a judgment of like, I don't know, because I always wanted to be acknowledged as like, I don't know how to elaborate that better. Those are my raw thoughts, and obviously, alright, bro, obviously, I'm being slightly ignorant here, okay? A fucking 16-year-old is a fucking 16-year-old. And it's not like I can't just do that now. Obviously, I can and I am. But I just wish if I just fucking saw some shit. I don't know. It's a very universal regret across a lot of people have those type of regrets. And I feel very fucking stupid right now explaining this because I feel like I'm not communicating this properly. And I feel like I don't know. I just hope that makes sense. Like, I don't mean that in like a egotistical way at all. I don't know, bro. I'm not communicating this properly. Holy fuck, the lights just went out. Bro, the light keeps going out. What the hell? I'm not touching shit. Alright, hold on. We need a location change. Alright, we need a location change so I could... Fuck! Bro! Fuck. We need a location change so I can elaborate this better. Bro, it's cold as hell. Rainy and snowy. God. That dude just got a drive-by on me. Bro, I thought I was gonna turn around to a cool car. It was just a truck. It's snowy as hell. Huzzah! Okay. Let me fix it. Huzzah! Okay, that's better. I was gonna appear somewhere else. I'm about to drive there, but this was too big of a concept not to elaborate on better. So yeah, when I was like 11, I feel like I became very, very aware of the this one night, I just became extremely aware of the spiritual warfare going on around me and the forces of stagnation, in a sense. I guess that's the best way to elaborate that. And I don't feel like I evoluted backwards. Like, I don't feel like I'm fucking completely backwards. Like, I'm more evoluted now in the sense of like even like concepts, as far as how many concepts I can handle at once. I've found that like I can handle like fucking a lot more shit at once, in the sense of concurrently. Like, I will have 5 constructive thoughts at the exact same time, and I'll be able to juggle, remember them all, and evolute them all at the same time, and not deteriorate. I can't speak. And not deteriorate in quality. Everything comes to me like fucking all the time. Like, I feel like it's always a constant flow of, like, there's never a blockage in that sense. But like, what I mean concurrently, like, I'll be sitting there and like I'll get the whole song. Like, I'll just know the whole song structure. I'll get like the fucking bass, like, it could be the beat, it could be the composition. Like, everything kind of just fucking comes to me at once, in the sense of like I'm literally juggling, trying to fucking remember all this shit at once. And that core concept has helped me a lot in communication and being able to communicate my whole. Like, for example, I'll be in a conversation, I'll be in anything, and I'll be fucking being interrupted when I'm trying to fucking elaborate on some shit. But that ability to be able to still juggle and evolute those things while multitasking, I feel has improved my communication fucking immensely, because I can literally be interrupted and I'm trying to elaborate on like 4 different things at once. I'll be interrupted, and then the next time that I have the opportunity to speak, it'll be more evoluted anyways. And I feel like because I didn't communicate better, like from 11 to 15, my constructive thoughts and ideas, I feel like I've always had this block in my communication, as far as I always, when I'm trying to fucking elaborate something, or I don't even know how to explain this. I feel like all the time, anytime anything happens where I'm conceptualizing a curvature across like something, anything that's multifaceted in that sense. It could be in a conversation, could be in music. I'm always perceiving it in potentialities, and in this entire I'm perceiving it as something not bigger than it is, but I'm very careful to elaborate it in its whole. And then when that happens, which is like all the fucking time, I'm like maneuvering this idea around and viewing it in its entire whole, like, but I'm like, it's like falling in and out of my grasp in a certain sense. I'm not sure how to elaborate that better. But it's just like a kind of a block in my perception in the way that I grasp concepts. But it's not a block entirely, because it introduces more unintentional energy. And that could be anything. That could be a good and a bad thing. And unintentional energy is always there, but it's just allowing more room for it. And it's also doing the exact opposite. It's unintentional, but it's allowing me to mold more consciously, but I'm also more shooting in the dark in a certain sense. I'm not sure how to elaborate that more. Like, I don't know, I'm always constantly viewing like these strains of ideas or concepts or even potentialities, anything, regardless of what it is, and I'm perceiving it as something much bigger, in a sense of perceiving it in a manner of a multifaceted execution that I'm not struggling to grasp, but it's kind of falling in and out of my grasp, in the sense of I'm trying to fucking spin this thing while viewing every single part of it. But I'm viewing it as this fucking thing as like, fuck, how do I fucking communicate this all right now at this fucking time? How do I communicate 5 fucking things at once? How do I reveal even subtextually the entire structure of what I'm trying to say? Because I feel like I do that a lot, where I'm trying to build an entire like structure within my sentences, where I'm trying to communicate multiple things at once on a subtextual, multifaceted level. And it's amazing, but it's something that traps me sometimes, and I need to view it more as a tool and an arsenal rather than that of a box that's trapping me. It's windy as fuck right now, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, I feel like the entire purpose of these videos is I want to just like put my mind into them, in the sense of literally like they are my consciousness. Like, they are what my consciousness feels like. Like, I want them to be multifaceted in the sense of having like other content happening while I'm doing it. Like either like going around, like interviewing people. I don't know, like doing random shit, bro. Just walking around, going to fucking the beach, going to fucking Walmart, going to the fucking park, and just doing random shit. I want it to be multifaceted in the sense where it can be constructive, but it also can be entertaining, funny, and give loose, constructive thoughts that I can't elaborate. And I feel like those looser thoughts I want to be able to communicate, and those are very, very constructive, like all the time. And I think sometimes they could help more than the deeper concepts and the longer videos. Like there's a time and a place for both of them. Like, I feel like for real, like my whole life, like I'll just walk up to random people, do random shit, and like I literally, like everybody my homie in that sense, in my mind, like I literally will just walk up to random motherfuckers and say random shit, do random things, just start fucking talking to them and fucking, like, I don't even know. I don't know. Like looser thoughts as in like saying less but still saying more, like just not needing to go really fucking deep into something. I don't know, you know what I mean? They'll be a lot better than this as well. Like I feel like this is really fucking weird. Like I didn't start this properly in the sense of like I understand how to start a video properly, but there's the forces of me wanting to communicate those things were stronger than caring about how the video played out. Because like if I'm clicking on a fucking video about a journal or anything like that, and this motherfucker just starts off with like I don't know, like fucking just straight into it, straight up this fucking, I don't know. My point is the transitions, everything about it, period, point blank, way better than this. And I can't tell if like the sun is cooking my exposure. Like what do I look like? Anyways, I'll elaborate this all better in due time. Let's go somewhere. I don't know where I'm about to go, but I'm going. Alright. It is windy as motherfuck right now. Look. The whole trees are moving. Yo, why the fuck did it stop being windy the moment I pointed the camera? Like, shit's windy. Alright? Like, genuinely. How am I gonna be able to record? Hello? And I don't know, I feel like some of these concepts I be talking about like are not new to me in the sense of I've been using these for years. Like these are fucking tried and true, like gateway transitions, everything as far as attention, the niche attraction scale, just a lot, bro. I could go on for probably a fucking forever. Like all of those thoughts originated when I was like 12. However, the systems and stuff I talk about, Manchester Theory, all those things are also very old. Like I've started writing that book when I was 14. I'm almost done with it actually, but everything I fucking talk about, bro, I guess my point is everything I talk about is not fucking new to me, bro. Like I've been using this shit for fucking years, and I'm such a fucking crazy motherfucker in the sense of like ADHD, in the sense of time wasting, in the sense of I never can get fucking anything done, and it is literally the only fucking thing that's ever fucking worked for me after like putting myself through so much shit. Literally the only thing. Like I don't know how to elaborate that better, but like I don't know. Like as in like I literally have like something is wrong with me to the point of I waste so much fucking time, or at least I did, that I thought that I would get better, or like I thought that I was at rock. Jesus fuck. I thought that I was at rock bottom, but I literally just kept going lower and lower and lower until I literally transcended that shit. I don't know. Everything that I fucking do, or just in general, being even functional, would not be possible without the shit that I talk about. If I didn't conceptualize that and use it and put it in motion and action, I wouldn't even be a fucking functional human being right now. And I'm not saying that I am a functioning human being, but like, like, I don't know. Like, I think, I don't know. Anyways. Okay, now. I don't know where I'm about to drive to, or where I'm about to go, but I'm gonna go somewhere, and I'm kind of fucking scared because this wind is pretty fucking crazy. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to leave my car without being blown away. At the very least, my audio is gonna be fucked. So we're gonna go on an adventure, and I have no idea how this gonna happen, but yo, like, my car is being fucking mangled right now. Every single trash can in this neighborhood is knocked over. Every single one. There's one in the fucking street right now. Okay? I don't know how we're gonna do it, but I'm gonna figure it out. Let's go. I just wanted to add, like, I feel like I'm very dynamic in the sense of everything. Like I'm not, people fucking assume that I am a fucking, like, this isn't me. Like, everything about what, like, my voice, my fucking, I don't know. They assume that this shit isn't me. My natural fucking speaking voice goes from here to this high pitch I'm speaking in now to, like, right now. Like, I am speaking normally and I'm just fucking talking. I don't know what the fuck people think, that this isn't my voice, or I'm fucking forcing something, or fucking forcing anything. But I feel like I'm very dynamic in the sense of, like, these videos are gonna have many different concepts, context. And I guess what I'm trying to say right now is the most important thing for myself is literally just picking up the fucking camera and recording my life and what I already do every single day. The thoughts I already have, and just kind of show myself more. So, yeah. Bro, I'm not lying about this wind. Look. If I try to open my door, look, I'm just gonna show you the outside. Literally fucking forcing my door open. Look. This shit's crazy. It's windy as hell. Like, bro. God damn. Like, and as far as, like, a block in communication, I feel like I'll be sitting there trying to elaborate something, and literally, like I'll feel like I didn't elaborate it, and then I'll watch the footage and be like, oh shit, I did. Like, it's all right there. It's just until I fucking look at what I just did, I don't fucking, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I feel like I can't, like, I'll be sitting there feeling like I need to elaborate all this fucking shit that I already elaborated. Like, it's really fucking weird. So, like, as far as perceiving in potentialities, like, I mean that in a few different senses. And it's not a block. It's not a block. But it is a fucking hindrance of feeling like I'm not elaborating shit, even though I literally just fucking elaborated it. Yo, someone's gate just blew open, and a cat just went in. Their shit is wide open, and a cat just went in there, bro. I wish I was watching that while I was talking. I wish I got that on the camera. If you come back, I'm gonna get it. But, like, I don't know, bro. Like, literally, I'll be sitting there trying to fucking elaborate something that I just elaborated on. Like, right now. Like, I mean, that was kind of the point of the take. Like, I thought I didn't get a good take. But, like, bro, it's not entirely a block in the sense of, like, I can't fucking communicate in general. And I feel like it has its pros and cons to it. But there's not, like, an end to it in that sense. Like, I feel like I'm constantly sitting there trying to elaborate something, and feel like I'm not elaborating the whole of the thing, and sitting there trying to fucking either not even re-explain it, I just kind of move on, or I elaborate. I don't know, but I've always noticed that part of myself that's just sitting there trying to re-elaborate something, because I'm perceiving it in these potentialities of, like, I don't know. And with music too, like, I feel like I'll be sitting there, like, trying to fucking record, and like, I feel like I'll be sitting there, and I'll have, like, everything, like, I'm just trying to fucking get it down, like, really fast, and I'll be sitting there, and I'll re-record the same thing, like, 5 times, or not even that. Like, I feel like I don't capture, which is in itself is creativity, right? Period. Like just the whole like structure of the song, or like my entire conceptualization of the song, and on every single plane in different ways. I feel like I apply that same thing, that same, like, I don't even know how to fucking explain it. And I think that entirely stemmed from feeling like I didn't communicate this shit because I just fucking simply didn't pick up a fucking camera enough. You have to realize, like, literally in every single fucking present moment, like, everything is transmutable. Like, you literally just have to be conscious enough to transmute it. Like, everything that's in that present moment is not everything that's in reach. And on all planes, on every single plane. Like, I emphasize so much on like expressing your whole as an individual, and seeing yourself in your whole, because I feel like I see so much of people automatically in their own brains associating themselves with things that are very limiting, in the sense of they don't perceive themselves in the entirety of their whole, that they in a certain sense forget that of parts of themselves. Like, people don't realize how multifaceted we are as individuals. Like, everything in every single present moment, literally everything, is fucking transmutable. And we don't see that. We don't see the fact that in 5 minutes you could feel fucking amazing. You could feel fucking amazing, and then 5 minutes later you could feel horrible. Literally the worst feelings you've ever experienced in your life. And there's no, like, it's not as simple as just understanding, like, ah, bro, everything's gonna be okay. And within that, I've seen so many people forget the fact of their whole, forget the fact that they are multifaceted individuals. That they are, like, literally everything in on every single plane in every fucking present moment, regardless of what it is transmutable on every single plane. Everything that's there is not everything that is in reach. It doesn't matter. And I don't just mean that of what is already expressed, of already been expressed, as far as that is what is your whole. I mean that of the potentialities in that too. Perceiving in this small, like, I don't mean to say rudiment perspective of I mean literally like a one-dimensional, like, it's far too easy to perceive in a one-dimensional perspective on every single plane, and that means within people, in your own creations, because that of everything you do is your creation. It is a creation, and you dictate the curvature of all of your creations regardless of what that is. And when you start looking at creative energy as that of what it is, not as just something that you associate with art forms, your entire life becomes that of an intentional canvas in a certain sense. It sets you up to be able to be in your whole. Like, I feel like everything that I talk about is so closely related in a certain sense that you need to understand the entirety of it to be able to understand yourself in your entirety. Because all these different aspects, in a sense, are suggestions, they're seeds. Like, literally, I intentionally, very intentionally, delve into these ideas in the purpose and intention of being a gateway seed into that of your own personal growth. It's very paramount that you are constantly in elasticity of perception of your whole. It's very paramount that you are constantly in elasticity of perception of your whole. Like, when you understand that you are not perceiving nor allowing your whole to be perceived on any plane, regardless, if you are not being understood, period, if you are not being seen in that, or you feel like you're not expressing it, not even anything from anything else, like not from any external force, just in general, you feel like you're not expressing your whole, like, then you need to, it's not a bad thing to be okay with not being heard in your whole. It's a very positive and beneficial thing, and I'm not saying that that's not what you should be doing. That's what you should be doing on every plane, point blank, regardless. But it's not okay at the same time to be perfectly okay all the time with not being heard in your whole. And I don't just mean that in the sense of you're never, like, obviously you're gonna be heard in those situations, and you can look at it from the perspective of, you can hold that perspective of being okay with not being heard in your whole until the situation arises where you can, because it will happen regardless. And that is why that is okay to look at it from that perspective in a certain sense. But there's no, it's not okay with just settling for that in a certain sense. That is stagnating yourself in a way that you don't understand, where you could still be evoluting with the same principles while still allowing yourself to flourish in your nature. My point is, there's no like I feel like if we watched ourselves from a fucking, like, if we just didn't speak and watched ourselves live, like if we were on a reality TV show, like cameras everywhere, and you just watched yourself and you could hear your thoughts, it would become extremely apparent that, number one, look at things, like, it's very rudiment, and I feel like I say that a lot. I say it's rudiment because it's something that you need a reminder of, regardless if you already understand that. And two, it's a seed of a perspective. Anytime I say that, anytime I'm elaborating something like that, it's because that perspective is intended to be a seed, to grow and base off of that, in a certain sense. Anyways, not as simple as understanding that everything that's there is not in reach. When you're perceiving anything with a
mind state of creation, which is a very broad term, there's always going to be unintentional energy regardless, right? That comes with good and bad. That could be good for it. Like, let's say you are bringing something unintentional in a conversation because you're being too anything, or it's a good thing and you're not realizing it, and then in those situations you don't know. Anyways, my point is, there's unintentional aspects on every plane regardless, no matter how much you try to minimize it. There's always, on every plane, within creativity, there's so many, on every plane, and with that in art, with that in drawing, with that in music, with that in every plane of anything, there's always going to be unintentional energy, good and bad. And that unintentional energy, that not even the variable of potential, right? Because that's a whole nother aspect of creation. But that variable of unintentional energy is one of the main modems of evolution, period. In anything, right? When I'm talking creativity, when I'm talking everything, I mean on every plane. Your sentences, your creations, period. Your thoughts, your everything. Okay, you get the point. Everything that you do and breathe through in your human body is a creation, period. Regardless if it's a repetition or something that's so. When you're looking at unintentional energies and you're looking at that variable of just how big that gap is of unintentional energies, regardless, you can utilize that. Which is something that everybody does that, and they don't realize it. There's a lot of things that I'd speak about that are things you already do, in that sense of becoming conscious of it allows it to be a tool rather than a box that's keeping you stagnant. That's one of the main things. That's why, like, a lot of those concepts I mentioned are rudiment or anything like that. That's the goal with that. Now, I haven't talked about this in a video yet, but all these concepts I'm speaking about, the unintentional energies, are going to be talked about in the video. But I wanted to kind of explore something else, because this is going to be mentioned in the video, and I'll link it up here. But what happens when you start introducing the subconscious into that of the unintentional variables? Because when you start perceiving the subconscious as that of unintentional variables, let's say, for an example, just for context, like within music, right? When you are allowing like a song to come to you, in a sense, how much of what is coming to you, because people who really understand music or have been making music for a long time will understand what I mean. And not even just in music, this is just an example. How much of that, of what just came to you in that sense, is unintentional? Because it's entirely unintentional in the sense of you didn't intend on creating that, in a sense of when you're creating from that of entirely potentialities, not of immediately having a vision when you're hearing something, like not in the modem of when you're hearing a beat, like you get something from it. No, not that modem. The modem of you've heard this thing a million times and you somehow can create something new, in a sense of like something you didn't even think about. Like, I don't know, you don't think about it. I don't know, this is a really random, weird example. But thinking from that perspective, how much of the unintentional is involved when you start introducing those variables? which is something to think about. Like, not even when you've heard something a million times and you can create something new on it, in the sense of when you're creating from that mind state of something that's not premeditated at all, when you're looking from the perspective of that of the connection of the subconscious, that of the network, in a certain sense, it makes sense, and onto a degree how much is unintentional, right? But if you look from a perspective of a combination of that and the perspective of creating something with three forces of energy: the potential, the premeditated, three aspects of potential, unintentional, and premeditated. Okay, the lights are going out. Hold on. We're gonna finish this stop in a different location. I feel like my whole goal and purpose with these journal videos is, like, I feel like I'm constantly having thoughts, like even loose thoughts, even little bigger, more complicated thoughts that I explain in the longer videos. Like, I feel like looser thoughts and just smaller things, I feel like I need to elaborate more, because those smaller things are guides to a larger thought process, and in general just reveal the thought process of that of which I believe to be extraordinarily constructive on every single plane. And I don't know, I just feel like I'm constantly switching in between feeling like I'm communicating everything and not at all. And like I feel like I'm always having these constructive thoughts, but they're never being heard, and I feel like I'm constantly need to not even repeat myself in that, but feel like I'm starting back at zero in the sense of being heard in those thoughts. Like, constantly feeling like I don't fucking know. I just feel like I'm being pinned down. That's the best way to explain it. I feel like I'm being fucking pinned down, like a bug being pinned down, and I'm like fucking squirming for, like, I don't know how to elaborate it, bro. Like, I don't know. That's just kind of genuinely, honestly how I feel. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna go a lot deeper into a lot of things, and these videos are gonna be a lot better, like a lot better, and they're gonna have a lot of value in content. And just, I don't know why I need to explain that. You'll see. Moving on. Oh, fuck. So stuff happened and my car is no longer usable right now. However, there's a few points I guess I kind of wanted to continue elaborating on, even though I wasn't able to go anywhere. But the next video, oh my fucking god, the next video I will, I have this shit propped up on my AirPods and a marker right now. Anyways, the next video I'm gonna be doing a lot more is gonna be happening. I kind of just wanted to yap a little bit. There's a lot of stuff that I voice memo just now, and I feel like recently I've been in this conundrum of, like, sorry, I'm being distracted. Recently I've been in this conundrum of like I don't fuck with repeating myself in the sense of trying to replicate something I just did, and that's something people don't really talk about. Like, when I'm writing scripts and stuff for my videos or doing anything for the camera, all of that shit is literally off my dome. I don't need scripts. I don't use scripts ever, and when I try to use scripts, it just fucks me over. Like, everything that I do, my workflow is entirely from here. It's just my raw thoughts. Everything that I do is my raw thoughts. So, like, in that, I kind of wanted to be able to show you guys the voice memo, and I feel like that'll be the best way to elaborate these thoughts.
And when I'm talking about being heard, I'm talking about allowing yourself to be able to shed your energy upon this thing. And if that person is not recipient to that in a sense, then fuck them. Like, it's not about being heard, it's about doing everything in your power to be able to fully shed your energy upon whatever the fuck you're doing. And in that, when I'm talking about everything that's in reach in the present moment, when I'm talking about things that are not seemingly in your perspective that are in reach in the present moment, I'm talking about your freedom and your creativity within whatever the fuck you're doing. I'm talking about allowing yourself to shed your energy within your elasticity upon whatever you're doing. I'm talking about freeing yourself and not seeing through these boundaries that we put on ourselves, like evolutionary. Like, as far as how humans have evolved, a lot of humans are very reactive to the environment rather than shedding their own energy upon the environment. We respond to the environment rather than the environment responding to us in most of these scenarios, regardless. And in that, that is not a bad thing. Like, those boundaries of, like, kind of stopping yourself from talking about things or anything with certain people or a certain environment or anything, allowing yourself to be able to shed your energy upon the environment rather than the environment shedding its energy upon you, and finding balance in that, because in that, the environment also comes with other people as well. I'm not saying that you need to be malicious in the sense of, like, trying to fucking take somebody else's energy. I'm talking about finding the balance. Like, fuck that. Honestly, don't even pay attention to the environment right now. But when I'm saying, like, finding the balance, like, finding the balance within your energy and the environment, regardless if that's people, whatever the fuck. Balancing your energy to be able to shed it while still allowing room for the other person to be able to shed their energy. But fuck that. Don't even think about that right now. What I'm saying is, think about your energy regardless of whatever the fuck it is, without the variable of the environment at first. Like, literally, do not think of the environment as a variable. And in that, I mean people. When you're looking at your energy with whatever you're doing, it does not matter. Pay attention to what you're conscious of. Like, I feel like we're really fucking stupid in the fact that if we were to watch ourselves from a third person perspective and, like, without the attachment to thoughts and anything else, and we were able to view ourselves and our thoughts and just, if we were to watch ourselves from a third person perspective, it would become very apparent that a few things, okay? Number one, that we are fucking blind. We are extraordinarily blind to everything that is happening around us and let me take a step back. We are extraordinarily blind to our own timeline, in the sense of, like, 5 minutes earlier you could be experiencing the most harmonious, happy, jolly, like, anything. Like, you could be having the best feelings of your life. 5 minutes later, you're having the worst feelings of your life. Point blank, period. The fact that things can change that fast, and the fact that things change extraordinarily fast, and we are reminded of this with things like death, with things like etc. We don't see that, though. We don't see the fact that these things can happen within relatively short periods of time, and everything can change extraordinarily fast. And it's not as simple in that moment as understanding that things are going to be okay. It's not that simple, and that's not even the entirety of everything that's going on. Subjectively, there's no better way to be able to tell and be conscious of this, and just this entire concept regardless. There's no better way than just simply understanding that fact. It's about understanding your whole. It's about understanding the whole of every situation, in a sense of not even just a long-term perspective. I mean, understanding truly yourself in your whole. And when you understand and really actually look at yourself in your whole, like, I feel like I keep talking about your whole, because people don't fucking see themselves in their whole. They don't see themselves as what the fuck they are, which is an extremely multifaceted being. Like, there's no, people stagnate themselves by associating themselves with, holy fuck, the lights just went out. People, yo, where are my lights at, bruh? People stagnate themselves from associating themselves with these things that they are not a part of in their nature. Like, people associate short term in the sense of they forget the fact of what they are. When you look at yourself in your whole for what you truly are in the full spectrum, the entire spectrum of what you are, what you perceive through, and just yourself, even throughout a day, even throughout a single day, even throughout a single week, the different states in which you are in, the different, like, when you just look from that perspective and looking at your whole, rather than just thinking everything will be okay, when you are looking from that perspective of your entire whole and actually viewing yourself as what the fuck you are in your multifaceted nature as a creator, you begin seeing things as what they are in a certain sense. Very subjective, very experience-based statement right there. But you begin to see things in general over the entirety. You begin to see things like smaller. You begin to see things as parts to the whole, which is that of what it is. When you look at things from the perspective of very small, that is the best perspective of evolution, period, because it helps develop that skill, which is one of the most important skills, of being able to learn things from things that are completely unrelated to your situation. When you have that skill to be able to learn things that are completely unrelated to your situation, point blank period, it does not matter. It does not matter. When you have this, and this is something everybody possesses, okay? But being conscious of that skill, of being able to learn stuff from things that are completely unrelated to your situation, regardless of what it is. It could be watching some wildlife, some ducks. You could be doing anything. I don't know. Any example could come out of my mouth right now, and it would still hold true. That is the most important skill, and being able to see things in those small parts, regardless of how small it is, and being able to evolve and seeing smaller, and being able to look in little parts of what makes up the whole from a perspective of the universal law of cause and effect, of everything else, of allowing yourself to be in that perspective and completely open-minded in that sense as well, is the literal key to evoluting, period, on every plane, at any speed that you wish. Okay, I feel like I've covered a lot of things in this video and I'm making it way too long. I'm going to include one last thing, which is just a few voice memos that I recorded last night, and I've been struggling with the issue of feeling like I need to keep repeating myself, in the sense of like alright, I did a whole voice memo and I feel like I need to repeat everything I just did on the camera. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that, because my issue right now is my nature is like perpetual motion, in the sense of I feel like I'm creating every single day. I'm always creating something, and I feel like I want to be able to do this. And I feel like recently I've really felt like I'm just fucking at zero, regardless of how much I conceive, regardless of how much I perceive and experience and all that. I feel like I keep fucking restarting at zero because I haven't been heard in those things. Anyways, my point is, I'm tired of needing to, I feel like I need to repeat something onto something to make it perfect. I'm tired of chasing perfection, in that sense of not allowing myself to be as I am, which is raw as fuck. In the sense of I don't script things. I don't care about that kind of structure. I don't know how to explain that. And everything I do, like I was just explaining earlier, like I don't script. Everything I do is raw off the dome. Like I don't know how to explain it. And I feel like I'm in this perpetual thing of creating. Always. I feel like I'm tired of needing to repeat myself. Like something I just did perfectly in that sense, but I didn't do it in the right format. I need to redo the whole thing. which is normal. That comes with everything. People don't really talk about that much. Anyways, this is one of those things I just didn't want to do, and be able to communicate it directly with this voice memo. So I'm going to end this video off with this voice memo. I promise you, like literally, these videos will be so much better, bro. So much better. I just needed to make something. Yeah, I needed to make something. And they'll be so much better. I have so much ideas and so many things with this that I am going to make infinite content. Anyways, here's the voice memo. I love you all. Goodbye.